Twitch seems like a really big platform. For most people watching this video, there's not even a need to explain what Twitch really is. They will know about it under a variety of different circumstances. For some, it's the video game streaming site. For others, it's that softcore camming platform. And with, last time I checked, something like 3 million unique broadcasters in a host of different categories, it can be everything in between. Cooking, sporting events, politics, Twitch is expanding. But the truth is, as large as it feels and as huge as the viewer numbers get, it's still a tiny platform. Let's actually put things in perspective here. As of the last update I could find, Twitch had around 140 million monthly unique viewers, while YouTube has over 2 billion. Not only that, but the vast majority of Twitch's viewership is congregated in a couple of different directories under a couple dozen or so larger broadcasters. It's insanely elitist. If compared to YouTube, where there are over 50 million creators generating content, you once again see how small Twitch actually is, with between 2 and 3 million broadcasters. My point is, Twitch seems big, and it kind of is, but compared to true industry giants, it isn't yet. Now, it might get there someday, though I doubt it will ever eclipse the likes of Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok, but it's going to take time, because in the grand scheme of things, Twitch really is an infantile platform. Keep in mind, I don't say that to be insulting. I mean, literally, Twitch is a fledgling creation site that only recently stepped out of a very small cult following and into a broader spotlight. Facilitated by Amazon, Twitch is on the rise, but the reality is, as a platform, it has yet to encounter a series of hurdles that have already hit and changed YouTube, sometimes for worse, sometimes for better, and chief among these hurdles is a copyright and licensing problem which could fundamentally change everything about how Twitch operates, result in the permanent suspension of thousands, probably tens of thousands of channels, and spur lawsuits to the tune of, keep in mind I'm not an expert here, but probably hundreds of millions of dollars at least. The issue revolves around rebroadcasting copyrighted content, and the number of instances where this occurs on Twitch is astronomically high. There are channels that just watch full movies or TV show episodes idiotically. There are hundreds of creators who restream gaming tournaments or live shows. There is music constantly being played on streams to an audience of thousands, maybe even tens of thousands, and the list goes on and on. Here's the problem. Twitch does have existing copyright protections, such as, for instance, music in some broadcasts will end up being muted in the archived video, and if a DMCA request is sent, Twitch must and does comply with that. However, Twitch's punishment system for DMCA takedowns is draconian, and on top of that, they also have no actual ability for a claimant to monetize a claim. For a much deeper explanation of system comparisons and media licensing, I'm going to link to a video created by Devin Nash down below. Devin Nash is an excellent creator who focuses on the business side of streaming more so than the gaming or entertainment aspect, and I had planned to cover this topic for quite some time, but his recent video covering this very same issue was extremely illuminating and pushed me over the edge deciding to actually do it. To summarize, YouTube already went through this a while ago. The platform got big enough where media companies and third parties who actually licensed or owned video and audio content began to pay attention, and they want their cut of the profit. The system that resulted was originally very flawed, but ultimately it improved and is now rather successful. It's far from perfect, absolutely, but when a YouTuber uploads a video with copyrighted content, the company who owns it can claim the video, which does not actually harm the creator's channel outside of lost revenue, typically, and the advertising revenue then goes to the claiming company. This can then, finally, it took years to implement, be disputed. And again, the system isn't perfect, but it has helped to mitigate the trolling effect of false claims, while also allowing media content owners to claim material that does legitimately violate their copyright. Basically, if you just upload a full TV show episode, it is at the very least going to get claimed by the owner, and they will earn the advertising revenue. Twitch isn't like that. Right now, DMCA takedowns on Twitch just get the content removed and do not result in any revenue split or compensation. Not only that, a DMCA takedown notice will give a Twitch streamer's channel a permanent strike. And if 3 strikes are ever received at all as of right now, that is a permanent ban. Not an indefinite ban, a permanent ban, which is different and far worse. And on top of that, the process by which a DMCA takedown can be issued is extremely easy and impossible for creators to really dispute or fight. There's actually a lot more to this. Again, Devin Nash's video does an excellent job explaining it all, like an auto 24-hour suspension upon receiving a takedown notice regardless of context, but the gist of it is that Twitch is worse than draconian with their enforcement of copyright takedown requests, and they are currently letting broadcasters run rampant on the platform with blatantly ripped off material like full TV episodes and rebroadcasted events. So why is it an imminent threat? Simple. Twitch isn't big enough right now to matter at all. Huge companies like Warner Brothers or Pixar or whatever the hell else just don't even know or care about it. And if they did care, anyone who uses any of their content, which is a lot of people and a lot of broadcasters, could be hit with a strike, a 24-hour suspension by default, and a few other disciplinary measures that would tangibly impact their ability to make a living. But that's not even the part that really throws up the biggest red flag. The most alarming thing in all of this is Twitch themselves. Previously, I can't say exactly when since it's been well over 2 years since I was partnered on the platform, but previously, Twitch had a litigation protection clause in their contract. Yet again, I knew this to exist, but I did not know and would not have known about the change if it weren't for Devin Nash in his video. The change was a removal of that clause, which means now, if a broadcaster were to be sued for activity on their partner channel, Twitch would not have their back in a legal capacity. If we then look at this through the lens of copyright protection, companies like, I don't know who's horrible with this, probably Warner Brothers is one of the biggest culprits, at least on YouTube. Warner Brothers could go after a broadcaster and Twitch would not be stepping in on their behalf. Now, I don't think that would be happening all too often, but let's think about this for just a minute. Thousands, probably tens of thousands of people watch TV shows on Twitch right now, or rebroadcasted live events, pay-per-view screenings, tournaments, whatever it is. If the media companies who actually own that content get interested, and they will get interested inevitably, they can make a very real case that Twitch is negligently allowing this material to exist, which they are, and they could then use the legal system to try and exercise claim to a portion of the revenue. I don't know if they would win or not, but I suspect strongly that they would. Then, because Twitch would now be liable for lost revenue, it could easily be passed down to the creators themselves, because the creators, after all, were the ones violating copyright laws and streaming material that they didn't own. And without a litigation protection clause, the liability could fall to them as well. But wait, it goes even deeper. Once the ability to monetize claimed content on Twitch is established, because as of right now it does not exist, but could easily exist very quickly, depending on who takes notice, seeing as the only reason it isn't around is apparently that no powerful enough company has cared to make it exist yet, once it is there, and it will be there, then the vultures will swoop in. For anyone who follows recent YouTube events, a company by the name Jukin Media should ring a bell. Jukin Media essentially extorted a YouTube channel by the name MXR Plays through their malicious use of viral clip licensing. The entire business model of Jukin Media is to get ownership rights to viral clips early in their process before they get tons of views, and then claim everything that they can that uses the footage to steal all revenue. They don't care about fair use, they don't care about moral or ethical integrity, they use the letter of the law to maximize profit. Once Twitch has established a system where copyright claims can result in profit, which I picture as an inevitability at this stage, I cannot comprehend a way for them to dodge that outcome given how much money is made through advertising, subscriptions, donations, etc. garnered while watching or using copyrighted material. Once that system is established, the very same copyright trolls and media vultures will flood onto Twitch, and it won't stop there. YouTube has had a competent system for handling this, and by competent I don't mean good, I mean any system at all, for years. There were and are major flaws, but the format is stable. Upload, get claimed, dispute, etc. It's functional, but once Twitch implements any sort of copyright system at all, it will be weaponized against the hundreds of thousands of past broadcast VODs. Content that has existed on channels for years will suddenly be claimable, or at least it's highly likely they would be, and all claims made against these VODs would be 1/3 of a permanent ban under the current punishments. This will affect any streamer who is watching compilations on YouTube, reaction streamers, those full TV show channels, of which there are far too many right now, and many, many more. A lot of the reaction content could and should be covered under fair use, that much is true, but as we see on YouTube, that is still easily abused, and only staved off because the revenue is claimed instead of a full strike given, usually, as well as strikes periodically resetting to minimize risk, and an actual dispute system in place. Twitch has none of that, and they've been letting their broadcasters blatantly violate copyright laws for years. It took YouTube a long time to develop these systems, and all of it is poised to hit the platform at the exact same time when they really have nothing in place to prevent or combat it. The bottom line is that this issue is not currently an issue because, and only because, the powerful enough media firms simply just haven't noticed yet. As soon as they do, the whole thing is going to blow up. There have been very small examples already that made me think it was about to explode. For instance, the Logan Paul KSI boxing match on pay-per-view. Thousands of channels broadcasted it to Twitch, bypassing the paywall, and they were getting shut down left and right, but the loss of revenue for event organizers, media rights owners, and a variety of other third parties was huge. I suspected it might be the catalyst to a revamped system right then, but it seemed to die down soon after. At the end of the day, Twitch is staring down the barrel of a massive lawsuit from a bunch of different media firms, a tidal wave of copyright claims, and a tsunami of bans if they don't get out ahead of this. And even if they do, broadcasting on the platform will fundamentally change when this event hits. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. YouTube went through it during the natural growth pattern, and Twitch will be no different. At some point, media companies will take notice. It will be big enough for them to care, and they will attack. That's it for today, though. This video was produced with hardware from Axial GT. I'm helping him get going as a gaming content creator, so please check out his content and subscribe. There are links down below, merch, Patreon, Twitter, etc. to let me avoid the pitfalls of YouTube monetization, but I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a nice night.